Welcome to Monster Hunters PH. My name is Kuya Ray and I'll be your guide to the wonderful world of monsters. So get comfy and listen close as we delve into the story of the Sarangay. The Sarangay is a half-man, half-bull mythical creature. It is of a large stature, with its upper body shaped like that of a hulking bodybuilder, with the head and lower body of a water buffalo, otherwise known as a carabao here in the Philippines. Just like the ordinary bull, the Sarangay also emits smoke from its nostrils when angered. It dwells in the wilderness and uses its scary reputation to protect its habitat from invaders. Apart from its devilish countenance and prominent horns, Sarangay also has sacred jewels hanging in its ears. These gems purportedly possess superpowers, and if anyone tries to steal them, the thief is guaranteed a gory death. Any brave or reckless man who is able to steal a Sarangay's earrings will be granted the Sarangay's strength, as well as being its inescapable prey. The Sarangay will stop at nothing to regain possession of his stolen jewelry. Those who even attempt to steal this jewel from the Sarangay is killed in cold blood. The Sarangay is a creature resembling a minotaur with a jewel or gemstone attached to its ears. When the Spanish first heard this story in the 17th century, they thought the legends described the Greek minotaur. However, this creature was everything but. This terrifying creature can be found in the northeastern provinces of Isabela and Cagayan from the Ibanag indigenous group. Sarangay is described as half bull, specifically a male water buffalo, and half man. According to folklore, when a sarangay becomes enraged, smoke issues from its nostrils. Be warned though, the sarangay guards its jewels and attempted thieves will be killed mercilessly. The word sarangay in the Filipino language means range, which is appropriate for the half-man, half-bull monster because it aims to protect its habitat from any and all intruders. If you find yourself within its range, it will do everything to kick you out of its territory. These territorial monsters tend to push out any being that enters its habitat. It is my suggestion that when traveling to the Philippines' beautiful mountain ranges, keep a close eye on your map and avoid places that have never been stepped foot on by other humans. Because if you do, you might come face to face with the sarangay. It is our task as adventurers and travelers to take care of the nature we see and take care not to damage it. The sarangay is simply a creature that wishes to keep his home safe from intruders. This monster sends its message effectively, though violently: never trespass on another's property. So if you ever find yourself on a long hiking trip on the beautiful peaks of the Philippines and a hulking creature, larger than any ordinary bull, comes barreling towards you, steam billowing from its nostrils, it's definitely too late to realize that you stepped foot where you were never supposed to be. Warning: the story presented is purely imaginary. All names, characters, and incidents portrayed in this production are fictitious. No identification with actual persons, living or deceased, places, buildings, and products is intended or should be inferred. Simon Basig was just an ordinary teenager. He would work the land with his father, wore their traditional clothing, and had crushes on girls from their tribe. But one of his favorite pastimes was to travel great distances on hikes that no other people have been on before. He would forge his own path through the brush. Sometimes he would stumble across wild boars and deer that he would later come back for to hunt. Other times he would rummage through crevices on rock formations to find snakeskin he would add to his collection of boar tusks and deer antlers. His father reprimands him constantly about his lack of fear when traversing the brush. Venomous cobras and wild boars aside, his father feared the dreaded sarangay that roams the lands that have not been traveled by his people, lands that Simon would travel as of lately, not fearing an encounter with a brutal beast. Simon would always reassure himself that in times of struggle, he would pull through. There were times that he would be chased by wild boars and nearly stepped on cobras, but he was not scared. Though he was lean and strong, he sometimes would question his own strength, but never his speed. He knew that in their village, he was the fastest, even joining district sports meets as their best runner in their 100-meter dash competitions. Simon's father was not pleased by his antics, but he knew that stopping his son from going on adventures was something he couldn't do. Simon was an outdoorsy young man, and his father would be remiss to take that away from his son. One cool yet sunny day, Simon started out on another trek through the brush. He brought with himself a baseball cap, a gallon of water, a walking stick, and his trusted bolo, which was sharp to the touch. As he started out, his mother caught sight of him and called for his father to stop his son. But no sooner had his father passed through their front door, Simon began to sprint toward the foothills and disappearing from sight. After 2 hours of trekking, Simon put down his things to take a breath and enjoy the scenery. He found himself near an open plain with long kugan grasses as tall as his shoulders. He pondered passing through the grass, but before he could make up his mind, he heard rustling within the green stalks. Simon looked up toward the trees, thinking it would be a good spot to look above the grasses. He took out his bolo and sharpened the tip of his walking stick. Then he stuck the stick into the ground, hung his gallon of water, and placed the baseball cap on top of the gallon. He snickered to himself when he thought the whole thing looked like a scarecrow or a person's head before climbing up a tree. Simon was climbing up the tree when he slipped and fell into a puddle of mud. As he got up to try again, he heard the distinct sound of rumbling hooves approaching him from the tall grass. Fearful of what he might find, Simon scrambled up the tree and saw the glint of metal from what looked like a carabou's ear. Steam billowed from the creature's nose as it approached his makeshift scarecrow. From his vantage point, Simon could see now what had charged at him. It was a hulking beast with the upper body of a burly man with the stocky legs of a carabao and the head of the same beast. Its long tail flicked from side to side and it dug its hooves at the ground repeatedly. It had snapped the scarecrow in two and splashed his remaining water all around. Simon froze in fear at the realization that his father had told him the truth, that the Sarangay protects its land mercilessly. Simon felt a chill run down his spine when he realized that the Sarangay was sniffing at the air, trying to find his scent. Simon quickly rubbed the mud he had fallen into previously all across his body, praying that the Sarangay hadn't found his scent. For what felt like hours, the Sarangay circled the same spot, and Simon knew that no matter how fast he ran, the Sarangay would catch up to him. Luckily, the Sarangay grew bored of searching for him and slowly walked back into the grasses, its hulking body shrinking as it disappeared into the distance. When Simon was sure that the Sarangay was gone, he climbed down the tree and ran as quickly as he could home, tears running down his cheeks as he constantly looked back, making sure that he wasn't being followed. This has been Kuya Ray from Monster Hunters PH, now signing off. See you in our next video.